All right, what is going on, Laker fans? Thank you very much for tuning in to the Hoops Talk post-game show. Of course, we're talking Lakers basketball. What an ugly game. Cavs blow out the Lakers, 134 to 110, the final score. I got a lot of thoughts and opinions on this game. I got a lot of thoughts and opinions on this team right now. That's 2 straight L's for the Lakers. This one looked a lot different than the game that the Lakers just had in Phoenix, a game that they had a chance of winning. Tonight, this was not the case. I'll be very critical tonight. I know a lot of people, by the way, if you're out hanging out, then you're a real Laker fan because there is a World Series game going on. But it doesn't matter to me. I'm here to cover Lakers basketball and here to talk about the Lakers. And I'll get into the World Series tomorrow when I do my show at 8 a.m. What an ass kicking. I mean, I'm going to be very blunt here. I get it. This is all cool for the Cavs and for Cleveland, and they're chanting, we want Bronny, and all that other stuff, and Bronny hits a bucket, the crowd's going crazy. If I'm a Cavs fan, that's exactly what you're looking for. You get to see Bronny James score his first bucket in the NBA in Cleveland. Awesome. You also whoop the Lakers' ass, 134 to 110, the final score. So you can have a good time, and you could be chanting Bronny's game or chanting Bronny's name because it's not a close game. Because the Lakers are getting ran off the court there, they're having a good old time. They're enjoying themselves. The Cavs dominated the Lakers. And I know the Cavs are undefeated. I know they're 5-0. I know this is 2 straight losses for the Lakers. I'm sure there's going to be some people in the comments that say, Al, you're overreacting. Relax. It's just a loss in Game 5 of the regular season. But I'll tell you what I didn't like tonight that has showed up for the first time it showed up for the first time so far in the regular season for me. What I didn't like is I didn't like the Lakers' effort. I didn't like the Lakers' lack of fight. I didn't like the Lakers' execution. I didn't like the way the Lakers were getting pushed around and bullied around. How many times is Anthony Davis going to be on the floor in that first half? How many different times were the Lakers, whether it was Evan Mobley or Jared Allen, we're just going to put – how many times is Austin Reeves going to be on his back heels because somebody's taking him to the basket and making him look like he doesn't even exist on the defensive side? How many times is Darius Garland going to get to the basket and do one of 2 things? Find Karis LeVert open in the corner or just get to the basket and put up a nice little sweet-looking finger roll with no effort on the Lakers side defensively. Tonight, to me, was not a loss on October 3rd against the Cleveland Cavaliers in Game 5 of the regular season. Tonight, the Lakers got punked. And I think if you're looking at this team, big picture, I think if you're trying to look at this Lakers team and saying, where can they compete in the Western Conference? I think if you're trying to look at this team and you're saying to yourself, you got 30 games to show that front office. We got enough here. Go make it better. Go improve it. Go use those 2 draft picks. Tonight is not the footage that you want to use for all that stuff. I enjoy watching Lakers basketball, and I enjoy watching good basketball. I saw good basketball tonight. It wasn't from the Lakers. It was from the Cleveland Cavaliers. I watched Donovan Mitchell do whatever he wanted to do. I watched Evan Mobley posterize a couple of people. I watched Jared Allen dominate the paint. I think in the first half alone, Jared Allen had 18 points and 12 rebounds just in the first half. That's what he had. That's not Anthony Davis. That's not Giannis. That's not Jokic. That's not Hakeem Olajuwon. That's Jared Allen. Not trying to be disrespectful to Jared Allen, but 18 and 12 is a pretty damn good number from a player that is a nice player in the NBA. He's not the best big man in the league, and the Lakers were making him look like it. It's a concerning loss for me. Maybe not for others, but for me. As somebody that watches the team, covers the team, roots for the team, is critical for the team, I don't know what the hell the Lakers were doing tonight. They were not interested in fighting. Listen, losses happen. The loss against the Phoenix Suns a couple nights ago on Monday night, that was just a loss. That was, hey, they could be better with execution. That was, hey, LeBron looked like he was tired. I could make excuses for certain losses, but the Lakers still had a chance to tie that game in the final possession. When the first quarter ended tonight, I could have left, went for a walk, and came back an hour and a half later. I already knew what the result was going to be. They got 42 points in the first quarter against the Cleveland Cavaliers. Cavs are a good team. Give the Cavs credit. I'm watching the game, and it's so often when you're watching any sporting event, you can look at one team and say, be very critical of what your team is doing and not give enough praise to the Cleveland Cavaliers. I give Cavs all the praise in the world. They were nice tonight. I give Cavs a lot of praise. My issue with the Lakers is the Cavs hit 17 threes on the Lakers. They shot 58% from the field. Let me say that again. They shot 58% from the field and 41.5% from the three-point line. Do you know what the disparity was from the free throw line? The Lakers took 33 free throws. The Cavs only took 8. How do the Lakers, from the free throw line, are plus 23 from the free throw line and still gave up 134 points and still got their asses kicked? Was not expecting this tonight. I go back to it and I'll say it again. When I watch a game and I watch a team that I'm rooting for, the one thing that I'm asking for more than anything else, just show fight. And I didn't see enough of that from the Lakers tonight. Very, very, very frustrating loss if you're a Laker fan. And I think for the first time this season, I think we've been brought back to reality. What I mean by brought back to reality, what I'm talking about there is you start out the season 3-0 at home, some pretty good Western Conference teams. You got a tough battle against the Phoenix Suns. And you say, okay, Phoenix is 3-1 as well. KD, Devin Booker, that's a good team over there. Even if the Lakers lost to the Cavs tonight and it was 117 to 110, but the game was interesting in the fourth quarter, that's different. You really didn't have to watch this game from the first quarter on. All right, let me get into some of the team stats. I got some individual players that I want to talk about. I'm going to spend some time talking about the Cavs as well. I'll get into some of your comments as we go into this as well. And just to kind of, this will be the storyline. And this is just part of what's happening with the Lakers right now. The storyline, and it's not his fault at all, but a lot of the storyline is going to be Bronny got playing time in Cleveland. The crowd was chanting, "We want Bronny," and Bronny got his first bucket with the Cleveland Cavaliers or against the Cleveland Cavaliers with the Lakers. Those are going to be a lot of storylines. And frankly, I don't blame them, because there's nothing really else to talk about in this game, at least if you're a Laker fan. All right, Lakers side of things. This is alarming as well. Lakers struggles from the three-point line. You go look at these last couple of games. Let me see if I could pop it up here, because I do want to see just to kind of compare it. But Lakers struggling from the three-point line. They shot just 21% from the three-point line. What killed the Lakers as well, I win many games in the NBA. If you have 21 turnovers in the NBA, you're going to lose. Lakers had 21 turnovers. This isn't a preseason game. This is a regular season game, and they had 21 turnovers. 21 turnovers for the Lakers, only 12 turnovers for the Cavs. ESPN added this stat this year that I really like. I think it was there before, but anyways, it's a little bit clear now. Points conceded off of turnovers, 31-12. Means when the Lakers turn the ball over, the Cavs scored 31 of their points off Lakers turnovers. Lakers only 12 points there. Just an absolute killer. Assists. I maybe I'm being dramatic here. I don't remember the last time I read a team having 37 assists. I know it's happened. The Golden State Warriors probably do it maybe more times than not, especially when Clay was there and they were cooking. KD and everybody else. I'm sure the Boston Celtics, for how efficiently they move the ball, how high potent their offense is with so many great players there and shooters there, I'm sure it happens with them all the time. Cavs had 37 assists against the Lakers. I guess if you shoot basically 58% from the field and 41% from the three-point line and only take 8 free throws, you got to have a god-awful amount of assists. And the Cavs had it, obviously, to go with their 134 points. Lakers only – can I tell you a stat? I saw this a couple days ago, and I don't condone it, and I don't care for it. It can happen. The coach, Joe Mazzulla of the Boston Celtics, was basically saying, to sum it up, that, hey, it's okay if the NBA was a little bit more physical. Talked about how in hockey, why in hockey do they get to fight, and then we can't have our benches clear? Mazzulla's going back to old school. I don't need to see a brawl on the court, but I will tell you what I'd like to see. The Lakers committed 7 fouls today. Can you put somebody on their ass every once in a while? Just kind of let them know that you can't just walk in the paint here, blow a couple of bubbles, chew some sunflower seeds, light a candle, light some incense, and then go up with a left-handed layup. Can you let any of these Cavs players know that if you come into the paint, it's a little ugly in here? Instead, the Lakers were putting out a nice mattress for them. They were asking them, what would you like to eat? They were washing some fruit for them. They were making the paint as beautiful as possible. Might as well get them a sofa there and just let them hang out in the paint. Only 7 fouls for the Lakers. That's not good basketball. That's not good basketball. Cavs are one of the more physical teams in the NBA. They fouled the Lakers 26 times. And I'm not telling you that that's a good strategy. I don't think you should be sending a team to the free throw line 33 times like the Cavs do, but the Cavs make you feel their presence. What Laker player made you feel his presence tonight? I didn't see any Laker player that made them feel their presence. Largest lead for the Lakers was 4. They had it to start the game. They were up 4-0. D'Lo threw a pass to LeBron on a fast break. LeBron dunked it. It's the biggest lead the Lakers had. About a minute into the game, that was it. Biggest lead for the Cavs was 28 points. Before I get into individual players, let's look at some of these comments here. I'm sure a lot of people have some thoughts on this game, and a lot of them feel just like I do. Trash. Sheesh. Sad times. Also, go Dodgers. Wrong guy, man. I'm the wrong guy on that one. All right, let's see what else we got here. Let's see what we got here. A couple things on Bronny. Salute Slee. We looked slow tonight. Out hustled. Really, really bad. Really, really bad. Let's see what else we got here. 3-0 was a fluke, maybe. Somebody here already asking for a little Walker Kessler trade. Our depth is shoddy and our big play is decimated when AD is out. Wood is not going to help with that, and clearly Hayes won't. Yeah, teams are already got a little footage on us that are starting to make some adjustments here. Somebody saying 30 games too much, as in too large of a sample size here. Good thing I didn't see the game. I will tell you this. Don't go back and see it. I see your profile there on YouTube, a little Jim Carrey action. No. Don't go see it. Just real quick on this, because I know a lot of people are watching the game. I don't know what the score is. I still think Dodgers are going to win the series. So for those that are hyperventilating right now, let's see what the score was. 5-0 when I stopped watching. Yeah, 5-0. 5-0 basically, and then I started the post game. I still think Dodgers are going to win the series. I think if you're a Dodger fan out there, not that you can't start worrying a little bit, but they get to go home for 2 games, and Yamamoto's been really, really good in clutch situations. Definitely concerning Allen. Allen, we look just like last year. Yeah, a lot of frustration. I'm going to go back to this. I'm going to say it again. Some of these comments I'm going to star. I'm going to go back to really, really good comments here. So I appreciate you guys. Putting in the comments here. I think I go back to it. What I'm hoping for when I'm watching Lakers basketball, could I see some fight through the game? Could I see a little bit of something? Show me something. Show me that by the first quarter is not done, that I already know what the result of this game is going to be. Cavs hit the Lakers right in the chin. Right in the chin. You know what the Lakers did? They said, we want no problems. We want no problems. We'll focus on Toronto coming up on Friday. I mean, that's basically what the Lakers did. There was no fight from this team. I had some notes here. I was writing this down. So first quarter ends 42-20. By the way, I should not be this heated on October 30th. We got a long way to go here. If I'm heated on October 30th, what happens by the time we're in March and there's issues? It was just bad basketball tonight. I'm writing some notes here. Usually when I do the game, I type up some notes kind of every quarter. So I just have some points here that I want to get to. Cavs in the first quarter had a 14-0 run. And then Cavs, after Lakers hit a couple of buckets, went on an 11-0 run. And then in the second quarter, this was part of the first quarter and part of the second quarter, went on a 20-5 run. At one point, they were 50% from 3, 9 of 18 from the three-point line. I mean, just embarrassing. Just a really bad loss. I mean, that's the best way that I can put it, looking at some of these notes. All right, let's get to some of the individual players here. Allen, the tone was set in the first 5 minutes. Their star, Mitchell, came out swinging while our 2 guys looked disinterested and were barely running back on defense. Leaders set the tone. Gotta be honest with you, I cannot argue with that. I can't. I didn't see. I mean, I wasn't watching Anthony Davis and saying, "Oh my gosh, look at this guy tonight." A lot of times I was watching AD, and it kind of reminded me a little bit of Flash. I haven't even seen. So everybody knows, I haven't even seen the individual stats of the players yet. So maybe I'll look at AD's stats and say, "Oh my gosh, you know what? He was a lot better than I thought tonight." But I'm talking about impact. I'm talking about reacting to plays. I mean, there was one possession where he got hit in the nose. JJ Redick did not call timeout. Two full possessions went by, and Anthony Davis was kind of hunched over. Now I don't know if that's JJ Redick's fault to go call a foul or to ask the team to foul or whatever the case is. But just yeah, the disinterest. I'm with you on that one. I definitely saw some of that disinterest. All right, let's look at some of the individual players, and I'm going to be curious if I get a chance while I'm doing this here. I'd love to hear from JJ Redick early on. And if we get a chance to hear JJ Redick, because this is going to be the first time JJ Redick is reacting to not just a loss from the Lakers, but an ass kicking. You know, the word was after Lakers lost against the Suns, he was pissed. That was the quote coming from a couple of the players. Anthony Davis, I think, had the quote. D'Angelo Russell. I don't know if they said that specifically, but they said that he was angry. Okay, how is he going to react tonight? I'm very curious to see what that looks like. And listen, maybe he's going to be much more casual tonight. Let's actually take a listen. He's about to start right now. Let me share my screen with you guys real quick. This is Spectrum SportsNet, obviously has the post-game show. So let's take a quick listen here. Here is JJ Redick.
Yeah, they're a really good basketball team. They spread you out, and they have guys with some pop, you know, with Garland and Mitchell, and certainly LeVert and Ty Jerome played great. It's good to see him healthy. I think we just kind of got punched in the mouth a little bit, but when you play good teams, you can't afford a lot of mistakes. We made a lot of mistakes. Simple stuff sometimes, low man rotations, not executing our switches early. They did a lot of things that forced us into those mistakes, but you play a good basketball team, you can't make that many mistakes. And we got down early and just couldn't recover. And frankly, you get down early and then you are at a deficit with turnovers. They had 17 more scoring opportunities. They generated 13 more threes. They beat us plus 33 in the three-point battle. It was like, we had the lowest crash rate of the season. We had our highest limbo rate of the season. I was like, it's not a winnable game if you do those things. Turn the ball over 20 plus times. Not going to win those games. It's just math.
All right, that's JJ Redick. I won't play too much of it. I want to keep going as well, but very blunt there. I actually like kind of how he explained it, that simple math. If you get your ass kicked in the beginning and then you're also losing in every other statistical category that you could think of, you're probably not going to win that game. Speaking of some of the stats, let me get into some of the individual players. Anthony Davis tonight, 9 of 17 from the field, 50% from the free throw line. Not sure what was going on at the free throw line, just 4 of 8. Really didn't feel his impact tonight. He still had 22 points, still had 13 rebounds, couple of steals, but those two twin towers, I'm exaggerating a little bit. It's not Tim Duncan and David Robinson, but Evan Mobley and Jared Allen, two guys with good size that like banging. They like pushing guys around. Very physical team, like I mentioned. All these guys are physical. That's kind of the makeup of the Cleveland Cavaliers. They like to play physical. And even with that, they're a good basketball team. 134 points. I'll get into some of their stats because I'm curious to see what individual players did. But AD gave you 22 points tonight. He was a minus 18. LeBron was a minus 17, even though very efficient from the field, 9 of 13, 7 of 7 from the free throw line. LeBron's problem and Anthony Davis's problem, a lot of careless passes. AD had a couple of possessions early in the first quarter. He threw a careless turnover. Donovan Mitchell hits a 3. Very next possession, tries to throw a pass to LeBron. Another careless turnover. Donovan Mitchell hits another 3. 6 quick points right there. Lakers call timeout. It was one of the runs that they went on. But LeBron and Anthony Davis combined had 10 turnovers in tonight's game. Braun did end up with 26 points, 6 rebounds, 3 assists. I mentioned how efficient he was, 9 of 13 from the field. And then after that, really, other than Dalton Connect that went off in a game that was – I'll get to Connect in a second because I do like what I saw from him, even though it was the minutes didn't mean anything in the fourth quarter. But I think every minute for him means something. But after that, there was not another Laker other than D'Angelo Russell that scored 10 points that was in double figures. So Rui Hachimura only took 6 shots tonight, really didn't look all that engaged, had a couple of attempts at the basket and got blocked, went up for some dunks and got blocked. That's happened to him a few times so far this year. I don't know if he lost some confidence there, but he was only took 6 shots, 4 of 6 from the field. Austin Reeves, really no impact at all. Unfortunately for Austin Reeves, most of that lead that the Cavs took, they were attacking Austin Reeves almost every possession on offense. It was Donovan Mitchell going at him. Donovan Mitchell went at him 2 straight possessions. He's backpedaling. Donovan Mitchell scores right away. Instantly, I'm like, if you're going to have Austin Reeves on an island with Donovan Mitchell's going to score 60 tonight. Reeves just 7 points on offense. D'Lo, I mentioned the 10, was 2 of 7 from the field. Did get to the free throw line, hit 6 of 6 from the free throw line. The bench, the only reason why there's some numbers off the bench is because they had to play big minutes because the game was a blowout. If Jackson Hayes, who played 19 minutes, Gabe Vincent played 16, Max Christie played 27 minutes, Bronny played, don't count Bronny, he only played 5 minutes, and Dalton Connect played 22 minutes, it's going to look like the Lakers bench contributed, but the Lakers bench contributed when there was really nothing to contribute to. The game was already in hand. So of all those players, the one player that I pay attention to, and I'll talk real quick about Dalton Connect here, I think every minute that he gets and every time he sees the ball go through the bucket, it's good for him because he's 23 years old and he's only played 5 games in the NBA. I think he needs moments like this. And if he scored 18 points at a stage of the game where it really didn't matter, I think it still matters for Dalton Connect. So it was good for him to get into a rhythm, get some buckets, 6 of 12 from the field and play 22 minutes. That was good to see. But the Lakers bench really has not been doing much. Gabe Vincent, he's been okay. Max Christie, he's been okay. Less than okay. 1 for 6 tonight for him, by the way, in 27 minutes. There's not really a bench player that I think you could look at right now and say, oh, I feel really good about this player. Unfortunately for the Lakers, that's going to still be a work in progress. All right, some of the other players from the Cavs. Let me check one thing here. If you're here hanging out and you're tuning in, I appreciate you doing it. Obviously, the World Series is going on as we speak. Top of the 5th, actually a little interesting here. All right, so it was 5-0. It's 5-1 now. But the Dodgers looks like they have the bases loaded, top of the 5th, 2 outs. You guys might as well update me because I'll probably be doing the show while this is all going on. So I'm just checking the score on ESPN. But as soon as if something happens, I'll try to update you if you guys are hanging out here. For the Cavs, a couple players to me stood out. Jared Allen had 20 and 17 tonight. By the way, only played 31 minutes. He probably could have got a lot more. 9 of 12 from the field. Donovan Mitchell ended up playing 30 minutes, shot 50% from the field, hit 4 threes, had 7 assists, 3 steals, and chipped in with 24 points. Darius Garland, super underrated player in the NBA. I like his game. Very underrated. If I had a kind of maybe a player that he reminds me of, a little bit like Mike Conley, one of those players that stays under the radar, always looking to pass the ball, can still be dangerous again to the basket or hitting an open shot. I like Darius Garland's game. Evan Mobley, 25 points for them, 12 of 16 from the field, also had 5 rebounds. So big time play from Evan Mobley. Their starters, I think, if I saw right here from Spectrum SportsNet, 88 points, something like that between their starters. So you certainly had a lot of players contributing. Dodgers, by the way, I don't know who got the hit. I just know it's 5-3 now. So Dodgers still men on the corners now, 5-3, top of the 5th. So Dodgers still fighting, kind of the way they've done it all year long. All right, last players I want to mention from the bench. You had Karis LeVert, just a stud. Karis LeVert's a really good player. He was 6 of 8 from the field, 4 of 6 from the three-point line. Thought he had back-breaking threes as well for some of the threes that he hit, but he had 16 points. He had 6 assists, 22 minutes of play for Karis LeVert. They had a lot of guys contributing off the bench. Jerome chipped in with 14 points. A couple of these guys that I was just kind of getting to know as well. But the Cavs, 134 to 110, like I mentioned, dominate the Lakers, and you had a lot of guys contributing for that Cavs team. To kind of play off of what JJ Redick said about, hey, this is a good team, it's a very talented team, I don't disagree with that, but the Lakers made them look, in my opinion, probably even better than they are. Quick listen here. Let's take a quick listen to Anthony Davis. He's chatting real quick as well.
First quarter. It's one of those things that you could play through. It was just sore. How does it feel after the game?
A little sore. Kind of like jammed it, but I'll be fine. Just bothering me throughout the course of the game. But no, that'll stop me from playing.
The season so far is that every quarter has been pretty competitive. It seemed like there was a little bit less so in the first half. They jumped out by double digits pretty early. What did you see early in this game, and how did that portend through the rest of it?
We let them get comfortable early on, especially Donovan Mitchell. They kind of just fed off the energy in their first quarter. And offensively, this is the first time that I can say offensively where we were, what I talked about in shooting around. We wasn't organized. Our spacing was bad, which caused to a ton of turnovers, ton of bad shots, which led to transition for them. And the points off turnovers. We didn't shoot many threes tonight. We had 20 turnovers tonight.
All right, I'm going to stop it there. AD obviously talking about where the Lakers struggled. One thing, I don't disagree that the offense was bad, but defensively is, I think, what's going to set the tone for the Lakers. And if you can't get stops, you're making it so much more difficult on yourself. Now, he is right about the turnovers. You get the turnovers are then going to lead to easy buckets on the other side, and that's exactly what it was. All right, it sounds like, wow. People are hitting me. Give me some detail. I don't even know who's getting the hits or anything like that. Sounds like it's a tie game. Am I right here? 5-5. Dodgers fight all the way back down 5-0. Top of the fifth, 2 outs, and 5-5. I could actually look here real quick and see how they got their run. So Betts on an infield single, 5-1. Freddie Freeman single to center, 5-3. And Teoscar Hernandez double to center. Betts and Freeman scored, tied 5-5. Wow. All right. Well, I'll go back to what I said in the beginning. If you're here hanging out in the middle of this Lakers postgame show with the World Series going on, you're a freaking Laker fan. That's exactly what's going on here. You're a Laker fan. This is a make or miss league. I think there's more to it than just make or miss. Are you taking good shots? Are you – I think what Anthony Davis said right there as well about, are you creating turnovers? Do you find yourself in a position where you're taking – I think JJ Redick said it best. What JJ Redick say? How many less shots? The Cavs took 20 more shots than the Lakers. That's not a make or miss league. That's we're not getting as many shots off because we keep turning the ball over. And that's in a league of its own. Let me see some more of these comments here as they're coming in. Dalton is a rookie. Want to see Connect get his opportunities. I'm a fan of Connect getting his opportunities. That Laker. Where is Max? Yeah, I don't know. Maybe we're doing way too much where we're talking about Max Christie and we're thinking Max Christie, this is his year, this is that. He's going to be a real contributor. Maybe that's not who he is. I mean, I know it's early in the season, but there are a lot of times when I'm watching him where it just doesn't feel comfortable. If I'm comparing the two players, if I'm comparing Dalton Connect and I'm comparing Max Christie, and you saw both of those guys playing at the same time, which player to you would you say, hey, that player just looks comfortable being in the lineup? That player is still questioning his skill set or not 100% sure where to go, or it's not as natural for him. I mean, I could kind of see that right out the gate with Dalton Connect. I'm not telling you it's going to work perfectly. I'm not telling you that Dalton Connect's going to be a star in the league or anything like that. But so far, just watching in these 5 games when I see Dalton Connect, the Summer League preseason, he looks very comfortable out there. Max Christie at times, I feel like a lot of times is questioning himself. All right, let's see what else we got here. Do you think a Kessler trade is possible? You know what's interesting to me is usually when this Kessler stuff is getting a lot of run. Usually when things are that public, it doesn't typically happen. So that part is interesting. I think it's almost getting too much publicity. So we'll see. We'll see what happens. I mean, it's early. It's October 30th. A lot of these teams don't start making moves until December 15th at the earliest. Most of them after the new year. Most of them, in that last 2 weeks before the trade deadline starts. So do I think something's going to happen anytime soon? Probably not. Let's see what we got here. Max won't develop on a win now team. Hood won't. Maxwell didn't. It ain't just all on Max. We have a pattern. Yeah, I think I just feel like the upside for Max, I think a lot more people were excited about Max Christie than they were Jalen Hood-Schifino or Maxwell Lewis. So I think it has more – I get what you're saying, that if you're on a team like the Portland Trailblazers or the Utah Jazz or the Pistons, you got time to develop. Nobody's in this rush, and you could develop properly. You can develop if you're – I don't care how much you water a plant, it's going to need time to eventually grow. But I think in Max's position, they're not really asking him to do much. So I think there's a little bit of – I get where you're coming from that perspective, but I don't think the Lakers are asking Max Christie to come in and give him 20 points a game or 15 points a game. They just want to see him be comfortable out there. All right, I got a quick question for Laker fans out there. A couple minutes left in the game. Crowd is chanting, "We want Bronny." Lakers are getting their you-know-what kicked. Bronny comes in, plays 5 minutes, hits a bucket, scores 2 points. What's your guys' kind of take on the whole Bronny thing? Because I wonder, listen, I wonder if this happened in Cleveland because it was Lakers-Cavs, and the tie is obviously to Cleveland. But is that going to be happening in other places too? Is if he's on this roster, are other teams going to start, hey, we want to see Bronny as well? What do the Cavs care? The Cavs, I mean, if this was a close game with 2 minutes left to go and we were tied at 115, they're not going to be chanting, "We want Bronny." They're doing it because they know their team is up 20 plus and there's no fear of losing. I talked about this morning when I was doing my show, that I feel a little bit bad for Bronny because I think Bronny's in a tough spot where a lot of people are going to criticize him and they're going to say, why is this guy getting playing time? Why is this guy on the roster? Oh, he's only on the team because his dad's there. It really kind of has no say in the situation. I'm sure people are going to say, "Oh, yeah, I really feel bad for somebody that just got an $8 million contract." He's probably, obviously, he's the Nike commercial, the Beats commercial that he was on with his dad. Yeah, I know he's financially taken care of and he never needs to worry about money in his life. But just how he can try to improve and develop in the NBA, that's going to be a different type of challenge for him. I'm telling you guys, it's something that I mentioned before, that this is going to be, I don't even know if ESPN has an article yet on the game, but one of the storylines from this game, it's not going to be Lakers lost by 24. A lot of it, I think, will be Bronny got playing time. Bronny hits his first bucket. That's where a lot of the attention is. It's not for me, but I understand this is an entertainment league, and that's what people are going to run with. We were just fortunate Dalton Connect fell in our lap. That part you're right about. It's a total sideshow talking about the Bronny stuff. Tony P, it's history. Let it happen. Honor Bron's legacy. No more after tonight. And that's really what I'm talking about more than anything else, because I could have made the case to you that doing it in the first game, well, why are we doing it in the first game? You knew it was going to happen too, because Ken Griffey Jr., Ken Griffey Sr., they're sitting right in the under one of the baskets. Of course, he's going to come in for that moment. But now we're a few games in, and now he's in Cleveland. So it's going to happen again in Cleveland. If he's sitting on that bench, I wouldn't be surprised if it happens again. I wouldn't be surprised if there's if there's other moments, or maybe it happens in Miami, maybe it happens in New York, maybe it happens in Chicago. Hell if I know. I just know that those stories are all good with me. If the Lakers are winning, if they're not winning, it leaves kind of a bad taste. Here's another one here. You got to tip your hat to Cleveland. Yeah, they whooped the Lakers' ass. No question about that. JC, I'll give them some credit. Not too much credit, but I'll give them some credit. It's a joke. I don't like it. Yeah, I think there's there's different types of NBA fans. There's Laker fans that are hardcore fans that all they care about is, did the Lakers win or did they not? Are they competing for a championship or are they not? And then there's the other side where it's a lot of people will make the case, hey, it's an entertainment league. If it's drawing eyeballs, if it's getting some ratings, if people are reading the articles, then they're going to continue to feed it. The only time I read the articles is because I'm doing shows. So I got to just make sure that there's an angle here, what the story is. But I also have no problem telling you that it's not for me, and I don't really care. I fall into the category of I'd rather see the Lakers just win games and compete for championships. But it's what the Lakers are right now, or it's where the Lakers are right now. Okay, couple just kind of look around the NBA here real quick. Thunder are playing the Spurs right now. That game's early. Pelicans got the Warriors. That's coming up at 7. Clippers got a home game against the Blazers. Pacers, Celtics. Celtics got their first loss of the season. Pacers won in OT, 135-102. Sixers lost again. They're 1-3. I don't really know what the hell's going on with the Sixers. I know Embiid or the team, somebody just got fined $100,000. Knicks over the Heat, 116-107. So if you look at the standings right now, there is now only 2 teams that are left undefeated. The Cavs are 5-0, and the Thunder are 3-0. Those are the only 2 teams that are left that are undefeated right now. And I think I was mentioning with the scores. Thunder. Did I say Thunder? No, Thunder don't. Oh, yeah, Thunder do have a game. They're playing right now against the Spurs. So Thunder will either go 4-0 or the Cavs will be the only team left in the NBA that's undefeated. One other thing that I was going to mention, just NBA related here. I'll take a couple more of your questions and then we're going to call it a night. How bad does that the Lonzo Ball has a grade 1 to 2 wrist sprain, and MRI showed. I don't know how long he's going to be out, at least 10 days. All right, that's not a big deal, but geez, this guy just getting back. And he gets another sprain. If I could plan it right now while it's still swollen, it could get to a grade 3. That would require surgery. Trying to avoid that, obviously, let the swelling down, hopefully tape it up and get back to it. This poor guy. This guy's had so many injuries already in his career. And how far into the season he's already got another injury. All right, let me get a couple of these comments in, and let's go. If Bronny was giving Max minutes and played like Max, people would be asking him to be out from the league. Why are we acting like he's that bad? Nathan, I don't think we know what he is. I think we know that if his last name wasn't James, he wouldn't have been drafted in the second round at number 55. So I think that's what it's coming down to. And I've said this from the beginning, it's not fair to him, but that's kind of the predicament that he's in. So the reason why people bring up Bronny is because there weren't any teams out. If a team really wanted Bronny James, they would have took him at 55, before 55. But I think that just kind of showed that teams were interested in other players, and that's why they did what they did. So Bronny's going to get his opportunity to go down and develop, and then hopefully get an opportunity to see what he can do in the league. But he's going to obviously have a target on his back the entire time. Let's see. Alan, you just described Jeannie and Rob. They don't care about chips, just shows. Listen, I 100% think that Rob Pelinka is trying to win a championship, that Jeannie Buss is trying to win a championship. You got to understand this about this Lakers organization. They're going to sell tickets no matter what. They're going to have people come to the arena no matter what. They're going to be on national TV no matter what. Even when the Lakers were awful, they were still getting the Christmas game. They were still getting, if it wasn't opening night, they were one of the premier games. That stuff's going to happen. But what made the Lakers brand is Dr. Jerry Buss. Yes, there was showtime. Yes, there was entertainment. But the foundation was they won. And I think all three of them understand that. Certainly Jeannie understands that as well. And Listen, it's on. Obviously, it's on their back to figure it out. Friday is now a must win. All right, keeping which. By the way, we can't go must win on October 30th. JC, listen, I'm with you. Do you know who you're talking to? You're talking to somebody that I lean with you on must win, but we can't do must win on November 1st. Here's what we got. Next 3 games for the Lakers. So all 3 of them obviously on the road. They got Toronto coming up on Friday. No game Saturday and Sunday. Then they got the Pistons and the Memphis Grizzlies. So those will be the next 3 games for the Lakers. I mentioned it from the beginning. Go 3-2 on this road trip. I didn't know they'd start 0-2. But make sure you beat the teams you have to beat and you're supposed to beat. Toronto and Detroit, you have to beat. And then the game against the Memphis Grizzlies, that's going to be, a tough game. I guess you call it a toss-up game. I don't know how good Memphis has been so far this year, so I'm not sure. I'm gonna take a quick look at the Grizzlies just out of curiosity here. But every team gets up for the Lakers. Memphis is going to get up for them too. Yeah, they're 2-2 so far. Who they beat, who they lose to. We got that here. We got that here. Where is that? Beat Utah, lost to Houston. Beat Orlando, lost to the Chicago Bulls. So that's the Memphis Grizzlies right now. I haven't even really looked. As much as I'm looking at the standings, I haven't looked at the East. Where's Toronto in the standings right now? Toronto's 1-4. Pistons are 1-4. Those are 2 games that you just have to have. You got to have. I mean, you do. You got to win the games you're supposed to win. All right, let's see if we got a couple more here, then we're going to call it a night. Bless you, Slee. Thank you very much, just in case I did sneeze. Let's see what we got here. Cavs number 1 in the whole league. 5 games in. That is correct. They're 5-0. I think we got what we needed tonight. Here's the last one. Cavs are going to ball out and people still disrespect us. Cleveland on top. I don't think it's a matter of disrespect. I think it's, it's Wednesday, October 30th. And you got to make noise in the playoffs. And Donovan Mitchell and Darius Garland and Evan Mobley and Jared Allen. It's a nice team. And Karis LeVert. It's a nice team. But you get that respect in the postseason, not in the regular season. So I'm down to give them respect tonight. They dominated the Lakers. I was the first one to admit it. I thought the Lakers were awful tonight. And I think you got to give Cleveland a lot of credit for that. All right, Laker fans, appreciate you guys tuning in. Final score tonight. Cavs blow out the Lakers 134-110. I'm back on tomorrow morning right here on YouTube. For those who don't know, I'm 100% exclusively now just on YouTube. My show in the morning at 8 a.m. Pacific time will hit on the World Series, Dodgers and the Yankees, if the score is still the exact same. Bottom of the 5th. Looks like bases loaded now for the Yankees. But I'll be back reacting to that game one way or the other, and then I'll have some more storylines for the Lakers, and we'll keep making it happen. Thank you very much for tuning in. Hope you guys have a great rest of your night. Cavs over the Lakers 134-110. This was the Hoops Talk post-game show talking Lakers basketball, and I'm your host, Alan Sleeva. Thank you very much for tuning in.